following is a non-profit fan-based parody. Death Note is owned by Tsugami Oba, Takashi Obata, and Studio Madhouse, and is licensed by Viz Media, Madman Entertainment, and Manga Entertainment. Please support the official release. Your move, Light.
Oh, hi there. It's your friendly neighborhood friend and mine. I guess I can be my own friend, Dusty Socks. And today, I'm going to tell you in summation basically all of Death Note in a Nutshell Part 2. So, where we last left off, Light killed L using Rem and her Death Note. This causes the introduction of two characters, Nero and Mello. Basically, those two are the potential successors of L, and he was unable to choose between the two of them before he died. So, here we have Light, who's in the middle of basically controlling the whole world through being both L and Kira. And meanwhile, you have two different task forces. Wow, I can't say that word properly. Two different task forces to try and figure out who Kira is and to stop him. One is the SPK, the Special Provisions for Kira, led by Nier, and the other is like just a rogue mafia group that is out to find out who Kira is through very, very violent means. Any means necessary, basically, led by Mello. So basically, while you have all of this going on, Light is basically doing his job. All of a sudden, the SPK finds out who the new L is. They address him by his name, like Yagami, and you find out that it's Nier on the phone, telling him all of this. So basically, Light has a new kind of challenge in the form of like Nier right now, and he gets kind of like a similar feeling to how he was caught by L first. Well, caught. He was first found out by L, and so he has another situation with Nier. A little bit later, he finds out that Mello is another, individual who's impeding on his progress. After he steals his sister, or kidnaps his sister, Saya Yagami, I think her name is, I forgot. But yeah. So he has two different forces, one Nier, one Mello, and basically he's trying to find out a way to kill both of them. But since he's under constant supervision by both his own task force and at the SPK, he needs to find out someone that thinks just like him and can do the deed just as well as him. So he gives up his own Death Note, or I think Misa's Death Note, to Mikami, an individual who's very, very heavy on the idea of justice and thinks so much like Light that it's uncanny. Like, he does so many things that Light wants to have happened without having to tell Mikami what he wants. Because they're, like, that in tune, I guess. He also has a new spokesperson in the form of Kiyomi Takeda, where he gets rid of the old spokesperson, Demigawa. Spokesperson, in quotes. And so he has that all under control, more or less. But Nier and Mello are getting closer and closer to finding out that, like, in the previous part of Death Note, before L died, there were two rules that they wanted to test. Or there was one rule that they wanted to test. It was the 13-day rule. They found out through the original owner of the original Death Note that appeared in the first episode, that Sido, that both the what is it, ripping like removing a part of the Death Note would kill you or something. That was fake, and no, they found out that they found out both of those were fake. They found out that also that the 13-day rule was potentially fake, so that ruled Light back into suspicion when he was previously out of suspicion with the old thing where he was in jail for a bit. So now Light was under constant supervision again. Like, he was now in the direct spotlight. Everyone was kind of suspicious of him, except for maybe like Mogi and Matsuda. But yeah, so that happened, and then Mello, who basically killed Light's dad. Spoilers. I mean, this whole thing is spoilers. So, like, if you're in this, then why are you watching this? Like, if you didn't want spoilers, then why are you watching this? So, yeah, Mello ends up accidentally killing his dad, killing Light's dad, after like an operation to retrieve the Death Note from Mello, and so yeah, that happens, and so a little bit later, another operation, but from Mello's perspective, to steal Kiyomi Takeda, or kidnap Kiyomi Takeda, and figure out what she knows, ends up being very bad for Mello, because he ends up being killed by Kiyomi with like a piece of the Death Note that she has, and Light ends up killing Kiyomi. But there's a little bit of like a mishap in that situation. I'll talk about that towards the end. Basically, it leads up to why Light ends up being found out. So, before all this happened, they settled an arrangement to finally meet up with the Japanese task force and the SPK, and it was at a specific day. And basically, everything that was set up to this moment was the SPK was trying to find out about ex-Kira, which was Mikami, the other Kira that was working on the side, and Light was trying to make like diversions and like decoys to elude the SPK from figuring out like the whole thing. And it almost worked. Once they finally meet up, Mikami was there to do the deed and finally write down all the names except for Kira, which was Light. However, the unfortunate thing was that Death Note that he was writing in was fake. The real Death Note was a Nier's shirt, and the reason why is because on the same day that Light wrote down Kiyomi Takeda's name, Mikami wrote down in his own notebook, in the real notebook in his bank, in the bank shelf that he kept, that he wrote down Kiyomi's name as well, in the exact same way that she would die. And so, the person that had Mikami under surveillance found out about the real Death Note and hid it and forged like a fake Death Note, almost entirely, like, really well. Almost identical, if not completely identical. And so this ended up leading to the capture of Kira and ex-Kira, which is Mikami. But Light ended up basically he tried to kill Nier, but then he got shot twice and tried to run away. And at that point, Ryuk, the Shinigami at the beginning, realized that Light was not going to live any longer. Meanwhile, Mikami killed himself through like a stabbing in the chest with his pen, with profuse bleeding, and like he eventually died. But with Light, Ryuk basically wrote down his name because he figured he didn't want to stay around for as long as he could. Light was going to be in jail, so he wrote down Light's name, and he was like, "It's been fun, Light." But then Light died. But before he died, he saw L's ghostly figure for the last time, and yeah. And then we have a shot of Misa on top of a building. It's not. It's kind of assumed that she killed herself by jumping off the building or something, but that's just like an assumption that a lot of people have. Like it's just shown that she's at the top of the building, and that's basically it. But yeah, basically, Light loses, Nier wins with the help of Mello. With the help of Mello, it wasn't really help, but you know, and yeah, that's Death Note in a nutshell for part 2, the Nier and Mello saga. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Happy April Fools. Yeah, I figured if you were gonna watch this, then you should have expected it, that it was going to be an April Fool's joke, because it was uploaded on April Fool's. So I was like, you know, I'm sorry if you were offended by any means. This is obviously, like, you know, I don't know when I'm gonna be working on like Death Note properly, but yeah, I just wanted to post a little bit of a thing for you guys, saying thank you really quickly for sticking around for Death Note. Like, I realize that the fact that I haven't been working on it so much is probably a little bit disappointing. But like, if you like my content in general, you can always there's some things that are going to be coming out later this year if I have time to properly finish editing. The Roka thing that I posted like a teaser for is still being edited on. There's just a lot to work on there. But yeah, thank you for watching. I apologize once again, but I hope you enjoyed this little summation of Death Note and like a few updates. Anyway, this has been Dusty, and I'm signing out. Later, guys.